a childhood divided India and Sudan. Meena Alexander's story begins in Allahabad, India on February 17, 1951. She was born into a Syrian Christian family. Her early years were split between Kerala and Sudan. In Kerala, she absorbed the rich cultural heritage of South India. Family gatherings, festivals, and local customs left an indelible mark on her young mind. Sudan offered a completely different landscape. The vast deserts and the mighty Nile River became her playground. She learned Arabic and was exposed to Islamic culture. This early exposure to different cultures would become a recurring theme in her work. Her childhood laid the foundation for her future as a poet who could speak to universal human experiences. Education and intellectual awakening. Meena Alexander's educational journey was diverse. She began schooling in Sudan, attending British and American schools. At 13, she started writing poetry in English. This began her lifelong love affair with words. Her talent was recognized early, winning a poetry prize. Her academic pursuits took her across continents. She studied at the University of Delhi. There, she engaged with ideas of nationalism, feminism, and post-colonialism. At 18, she began doctoral studies at the University of Nottingham. She wrote her dissertation on Shelley. This period honed her critical thinking skills. The years in England broadened her perspective. They added to her multicultural background. The emergence of a poetic voice. Meena Alexander's journey as a poet began in earnest after her doctoral studies. She returned to India and taught at several universities. Her early work reflected her diverse experiences, blending Eastern and Western influences. In 1979, she moved to New York City. The bustling metropolis inspired her to create poetry that spoke to the immigrant experience. Her poetry collections began to gain recognition. Stone Roots in 1980 and House of a Thousand Doors in 1988 established her as a significant voice in contemporary poetry. These works explored themes of identity, displacement, and belonging. As her reputation grew, so did her influence in academic circles. She became a professor at Hunter College and the Graduate Center of the City University of New York. Anecdotes from a literary life. Meena Alexander's life was filled with fascinating encounters and personal stories. One memorable experience was her meeting with poet Allen Ginsberg. Ginsberg, impressed by her work, engaged her in a long conversation. He encouraged her to let the poem breathe. This advice had a profound impact on her writing style, shaping her creative process and inspiring some of her most beloved works. Literary legacy, major works and contributions. Meena Alexander's literary output was prolific and diverse. Illiterate Heart, 2002, won the PEN Open Book Award. It showcased her ability to weave personal experiences with larger historical narratives. Her memoir, Fault Lines, 1993, blurred the lines between autobiography and poetry. The book offered a deeply personal account of her journey across cultures. Alexander's contributions extended beyond poetry and memoir. She was also an accomplished essayist and literary critic. Her book, The Shock of Arrival: Reflections on Post-Colonial Experience, 1996, offered insightful analysis of post-colonial literature. As an editor, Alexander co-edited Indian Love Poems, 2005, bringing ancient and contemporary Indian poetry to a wider audience. Her editorial work helped introduce many readers to the richness of Indian literature. Her poetry collection, Atmospheric Embroidery, 2015, further cemented her impact on contemporary literature and cultural discourse. Enduring impact on literature and culture. Meena Alexander's impact on literature and culture continues to resonate long after her passing in 2018. Her work opened up new possibilities for multicultural expression in poetry. She showed that it was possible to write from a place of multiple belongings. Her poetry gave voice to the experiences of immigrants and displaced people. In academia, Alexander's influence is profound. Her scholarship on post-colonial literature and theory has shaped the field. Many universities now include her work in their curricula. Alexander's legacy extends beyond the written word. She was a passionate advocate for social justice and women's rights. The Meena Alexander papers, housed at the Sophia Smith Collection at Smith College, ensure that her legacy will continue to inspire future generations of writers and thinkers.